Hey, my wonderful, wonderful, beautiful people, a pleasant evening to you. Boy, my beauties, Jamaica is festive. It is absolutely festive. So let me look. Let me just check my phone here. I saw something on the news. If you were a good Sorry about that. Okay, so I literally took a snapshot of what I saw, the caption that came across the television. It says, PM promises to deliver knockout punch, and they have in quotations, knockout punch, you know what they call inverted commas, as Jamaica looks forward to general election. So it showed snippets, well, that section, because I think the JLP, the Jamaica Labour Party, they're looking to have their meeting sometime late November. I think that's what I heard the news reporter saying, one. And two, you know, I was listening to the PM and he said some things and I said, boy, I wasn't aware of that. You know, where people, you know, like, I don't know if he said death threats. I don't know if he's talking about the whole bomb threat, you know, but people, you know, but he actually followed up by saying he knows that they're against them and he still smiles and shakes their hands, you know, but they're threatening his life. That is the essence of what I got from him. I wasn't even aware of that. I mean, unless he found out who it is that scared him regarding the bomb threat that was promulgated, you know, and so on, you know, because I wasn't aware that his life was actually threatened. I didn't hear of that. I mean, you hear people come with all the vitriolic comments, the rancor, just the whole acrimonious negative statements. You hear all of those. But in terms of his life being threatened, I really was not aware of that, you know, and so on. And I guess he's talking about the people who come with fake news and fake promises and so on. Well, the Jamaica Labour Party says they're coming with the knockout punch. I'm not sure how I'm reading that, you know, for the next general election. He's talking about maybe a landslide similar to what took place in, 2016 it was? And in a sense, 2020, when they had the landslide. So that is my take on the whole thing when he says knockout punch. Because any other way to read it, using the laws of possibly both induction and deduction, it would be, you know, to, you know, put things to it. I mean, unless he's talking about doing things that will benefit the economy, benefit the health sector, benefit the people of Jamaica, you know, that they have been crying out a lot, especially as it regards the health sector, as it regards crime and violence in our country, as it regards the education system, you know, the critical ones, you know, are the health and, you know, once it deals with life or death and our economy, you know, and then our education system. So maybe the four quadrants: healthcare, you know, your life in terms of the crime and the violence, the economy, because it takes cash to care, you know, the Bible says you know, money answers all things. And as one man says, money is like oxygen. And then we also have the education, you know, especially if they don't get the early childhood care educationally, then, you know, we're going to have a problem in our society. When you have low skilled people, low educated people, then it actually reduces the possibility of investors coming in so that our economy can grow and expand, so that it moves us even into second place and not be stuck in third place. So we become at least a second world country. And then one fine, sweet day, we become first world. But I'm just a little bit curious as to what, you know, the Jamaica Labour Party, you know, means by a knockout punch. You know, is it that you're saying, you know, is it going to be very politicized, where it is the JLP against the PNP? So we're going to come with all kinds of goodies, or not so much goodies, things that would be unnecessary, or what you're going to come with. It's going to be so phenomenal that the people of Jamaica would say, there goes the best prime minister, there goes the best party. I mean, I'm literally asking, you know, is it that the knockout punch? I'm just trying to dissect what the knockout punch means, you know. You know, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt, I suppose, because as I said, the only way that I can really read it in a very cohesive manner is to say it must mean that they're expecting a landslide. You know, so they come with a knockout punch, maybe a solid uppercut or a solid sucker punch to the other main political party. You know, that based on the Don Anderson's poll stated that they're leading by 9% in terms of Mark Goling being the favorite, you know, to win the general elections. There are some new polls come out, but I'm going to talk about that in another video, which begs to believe, you know, where are the polls now being administered? You know, I'm hoping that they're administered in sort of not haphazard, but maybe ad hoc, in the sense that it is not a specified area, because you don't want it to seem very skewed. You want to get as authentic a response as much as possible and to reduce any anomalies that will skew the final results, the final outcome that you want to ascertain. So, for example, if you want to ascertain who you think is the best leader for Jamaica, you don't go into a concentrated political area that you know is, for example, predominantly JLP or predominantly PNP, because you know what the results would be. If you do that, it would be very skewed and not accurate. So, you know, in my scheme of thinking, I figured that it was across the island in pockets all over it, not necessarily a concentrated area to say it's a PNP area that he did his studies in, you know, did the questionnaires in, or it was the JLP he did his questionnaires in, so to speak. But it was a mixture of both all over. So that is what I mean by ad hoc, not necessarily specific any places. You just get anybody from anywhere so that your thing can be authentic and true. Well, as I said, I am very much curious as to what the Jamaica Labour Party, let me read back what it says, beautiful people, you know, that they're going to give a knockout punch. I'm looking, to be honest with you, it says PM promises to deliver a knockout punch. Prime Minister, you know, as I have been one of the Jamaican citizens that have been begging and pleading that the civil servants, you know, in particular, and by extension the public sector workers, that somehow they are given that the next 3 months would be so blissful for them financially, The civil servants can say that, you know, they have gotten word and voice with the Ministry of Finance, and that all of what they have posited have been dealt with. Tisha Clark-Griffiths and her team can say, okay, they have responded, and they say that at, you know, maybe in December we're going to do the retroactive monies for whatever period. We're going to reinstate whatever it is. We're going to do this. We're going to do that for the public sector workers who have been very vociferous and vocal about, you know, things that need to take place. Look at, for example, the health sector. You know, they lambasted the Minister of Health. Right. So, you know, they lambasted the Minister of Health to talk about comments that he made. And to be honest, I haven't heard what comments he made, you know, but the health sector seemed to be a sore thumb and a thorn in the lives of people. I don't know. That sector it can't get a grip on solid healthcare for people. I'm living a day and age when as soon as you go to the hospital, it seems as if it's a very slim chance for you to come out alive. I can hardly believe it, you know. And, you know, the people who are in there are trained to keep you living longer based on their training and their expertise. But we're living in a day and age where it seems as if you're safer in your own home or on the road as opposed to going into the hospital. I don't know. I've never seen anything as decadent as that. I wouldn't even bother to talk about the crime and the violence across the board, whether it's domestic, physical, killing, and so on. The economy, boy, oh boy. I've never seen so many broke people, poor indigent people as now. It is a diatribe across the board. So I wouldn't mind the premise and knock out some punches, just knock out poverty and knock in prosperity in the pockets of the people. Knock in prosperity, you know, with the knockout punch. Guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe and give me a line to man.